chaos. Battlefield creates anxiety in a person that is playing Battlefield. It is a very common phenomenon in the FPS scene as well, and it's not because you're scared or fearful. It's actually because you haven't made steps on how to regulate your anxiety. My name is Worldology. I stream on Battlefield 6 on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, and am a top 1% player. And I'm here to teach you how to control your anxiety in your FPS games, and as well Battlefield 6. So anxiety is a very big and common issue when it comes to players wanting to improve to the next level in their gameplay and development to reach pro status for the people who wants to reach that. And it is really hard to master. But why is it so hard to master and to actually control your anxiety? Well, according to our brain, which is why it is very difficult to master our anxiety and control it, is that we actually cannot dictate between what is real and what is false. And since we're in FPS games such as Battlefield titles and other FPS games, we already know that we're safe and it's a video game we are playing after all. But we still cannot disregard the fact that the different cues that we receive from the game stimulates our brains in about the 10 different ways those cues come in. So cues, what do I mean by cues? Cues such as footsteps, audio, gun sounds, and even the psychological aspects on where is this enemy, where can the next one be, what can I do to get this next point, or any other instances. So different type of cues is starting inside of our prefrontal cortex first and foremost, and the other major components of your brain like the hippocampus, etc., and everything like that. With all of these cues, it is almost an automatic increase to the stress hormones and also activates the adrenaline within the body. The more kills you get and the more you get that of your heart beating and whatnot, whether we know it or not. So is there actually a way to get rid of anxiety? Honestly, there isn't a way to get rid of anxiety, because even players like me, top players, 1% players, we all feel different types of anxiety in certain situations. We honestly just know how to control it and to actually regulate it, and majority of the times we actually do not feel our anxiety. So we're going to get into the diagram that I'm going to show you today. It is the Yerkes-Dodson principle. It is a psychological concept of anxiety and the levels between high, medium, and low, in which they can affect your performance in Battlefield 6, other FPS titles, and even personal endeavors outside of Battlefield 6 and your current FPS games that you are playing. So this goes for everything in life and also in your respective FPS game. Showing this model, it shows that it has a low performance, under aroused, optimal peak performance, an ideal arousal, and high poor performance, over aroused. So similar to the flow state diagram, but not necessarily the same. It shows that if having an under aroused or bored feeling of something, you will perform at a very poor state. If there's a balance, then the optimal state of arousal is achieved to make peak performance happen. And then when too aroused or high in anxiety, then poor performance will also occur, which is why balance is key to achieving the peak performance to getting optimal arousal. What are ways to achieve peak performance in FPS games at all times? Well, so let's first know that our brains are actually really smart and are considered supercomputers. Our brain learns what is repeatedly practiced under pressure and can actually give us a main lead way on how we can actually improve our game under that specific pressure. So honestly, it is harder than it sounds, and it does make it seem like you can't necessarily do that because there's so much different things that is going on in Battlefield 6. But again, with practice and with time, it is actually very possible to make your anxiety levels calm down in a situation like Battlefield 6 to improve your gameplay and to actually improve your KD and your KPM and everything you want to improve in Battlefield 6 and in any other FPS games, because your anxiety goes everywhere since we are humans, right? So going to why actually high anxiety is a wrong thing. So if you are really overconfident in a video game, in FPS games, or any other game for that matter, it can go any game actually. If you're overconfident, then you will not actually have enough anxiety to actually do well in your game. So you actually do want a little bit of anxiety so you can be a little bit alert. But if you have too much anxiety, which is actually the overconfidence, and again, yes, you will not be able to perform at your optimal level. You probably will be able to perform at a little bit of a good rate, but then that overconfidence can get to arrogance, and then it can get to other different aspects on why you cannot actually do well in your current game. And with low arousal, like with boredom and everything like that, which is why it's it is a good reason to understand where you're at this current moment. Me personally, I am at the level of just achieving, the sky and whatnot. It's hard to actually like get better because, again, being at a higher level, it does take a little bit of time to actually understand what do I need to get to my respective level. Even though I know I can, hang with some people at my level or people above my level. It just depends on, how much I can keep up with. Again, past video about the flow. If you want to check that out, you can check that out. And, the anxiety aspects and other things going on with the game and other different videos I'm gonna come out with. So with the low arousal, you actually do need to find where your sweet spot is for, do I get bored in certain games? In other games, like if I'm in a competitive game, do I actually get bored in this competitive game, or do I actually get a little bit of satisfaction? Some people don't get satisfaction, some people do. It just depends on the type of player you are. But if you are wanting to improve, you actually have to get that type of satisfaction of being, in that competitive environment, because it is the main thing on which you can get better. Because obviously we are playing an FPS game, and an FPS game is what? It's very competitive because other people are trying to get you down and try to make you get the dock to try to help you out, right? So again, understand what is going on with your levels, with your anxiety levels, and just understand that it's going to be very, very difficult to actually understand all of it because you have to dig deep within. But that's all I'm gonna say for this video. Hope you like, share, and subscribe. I'm Worldology on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. This is going to be a quick video on anxiety, and the thing is, I'll probably drop a bigger video about this topic, but just know that y'all have a good day, a good night, whatever time you're watching, and it's going to be a good journey for you if you want to improve and whatnot, and just keep going. Good day.